Alright, hello everyone. This is gonna be a Thug 2 speedrun tutorial for the Story Easy category. So there are like many different categories. This is just the story mode on easy difficulty. The difficulty doesn't matter in this game because you have to do extra goals and get more points and all that kind of shit. So, you know, easy is just the first one that most people do, it's the quickest one. Classic mode is faster, but I prefer story myself, and that's the only one that I run, so... first thing to mention, probably, is that, technically speaking, there's no... So in this game, right, you can... Technically speaking, because of where the timer starts, you can load a save here, instead of starting a new story mode that has, like, preloaded tricks, from, like, the classic mode and all that kind of stuff. Essentially New Game Plus, and it's allowed because of the way the timing starts, and, you know, it's technically makes the run a bit easier and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, this tutorial won't be going through it because it's not necessary to the run. The world record, for example, doesn't do New Game Plus, neither does second place. So, you know, it's not necessary, like, you don't need to do New Game Plus if you don't want to. And personally, I don't believe in doing New Game Plus in speedruns. So, you know, I'm not trashing people who do, it's just, I'm not going to cover it because I don't feel it's necessary. So, as I said before, the timing is kind of strange. So when you go into like a training mode. So here we are in the training mode. In here, you can like pad your stats and all that kind of stuff and learn about the game, which is good for like casual playthroughs, but it doesn't actually give you anything, you know, in a speedrun. So one thing I'll mention here that like, it wasn't a rule until recently, but I kind of got screwed by it because of, you know, it was like an unwritten rule that you weren't allowed to do. But it was never actually in the rules, but now it is, thankfully. So basically, if you do any kind of like tricks here, like this, you get stat increases. Now, the reason you're not supposed to do this in a speedrun is because, obviously, otherwise, the most efficient way to do a speedrun would be to pad all your stats in the training mode, which would be long and boring, and then, you know, either load a save or do it every single run, and it's just not really ethical. So, instead, actually start a new game, go easy again, and then just straight change the level to Boston. As soon as you select Boston, that's where timing starts. So the training mode, even though it's like technically part of the game, and I personally believe it should count towards the time, it doesn't, but whatever. So the timing will start here. So you go through the list of goals, and as you saw there, I just kind of skipped through it, but I won't bother going back because it's not really necessary, but I'll just explain it quickly. So when you first go through, you have the goals list, and then you have a pro that you can select to be like your wingman for this level, let's say. This is like a very minor strat, so don't really worry about it, but like Bob Bernquist, that is the first option, is always good for Boston anyway, because he has the highest speed stat. That's basically what you want. But in other levels, the world record uses Rodney Mullen, but he has a lower speed stat than Mike Valley, or Mike V, or whatever you want to call him. So it's technically very slightly faster to pick Mike V, but it's such a small thing that I probably will forget to do it, because I always do. But anyway, so enough talking, let's actually get some points. So you need 400 points in each level to go on to the next one. So the first thing you want to do is go to the arcade machine. You need 7,500 points. Now, you also have a speed stat. So ideally what you can do here is, you know, do a lot of tricks, whatever, blah, 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 special manual, cool, yep, doing all these tricks, until you get a massive combo. What this will do is, as you can see, it pads all your stats. You don't technically have to do this again, because you'll eventually pad your stats anyway, but, you know, like, you can do it now if you want, or you can just get 7,500, like, instead, just do this. Cool, done. and then go down here. So this is Jesse James, the absolute worst character. So you'll get a text message, just press exit on this, and then go to end current run, which is your arcade machine. Then you can't use the controller for this for some reason, as far as I'm aware. So you just press enter, 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 and then you'll start rolling towards Jesse James, and you can switch to him. So this is the absolute worst goal ever. So ideally the red truck will be here, but because I was talking, it isn't. So I'll just have to use a different car. But what you have to do is you have to use Jesse James to jump over 3 cars like this. Well, not 3 cars, but like, you can use the same car. So with a bit of practice, it doesn't look too bad, but it's pretty awful, let me tell you. So another world record strat here that maybe saves like a second or two is you can use Jesse James to go up here to find Ben Franklin, which is our next goal. But it's kind of hard to do. I'll see if I can show you it. Because like, as you see, if you get the wrong angle, you can't really like correct yourself very well. I went into focus there. Don't do that. But yeah, so I wouldn't advise doing this unless you're going for like world records here, speedruns. Because the strat that I do, which is like a second slower, is just to switch to your skater. And then you can just air up and get off your board. Nice and easy. So Ben Franklin's here. As soon as you get to this cutscene, you want to press... I'll say... I'm using an Xbox controller, so if I say A and B by accident instead of Ollie and grab, then just know that I mean Xbox controls. But you want to press Ollie and then grab immediately to switch to Ben Franklin before you start going off the trail. So go through all his stuff, and then go around to the left here. Then make a tight turn, and double jump up here for this goal. Then jump down, don't bail like me. Go across this spine transfer. Grind down here, or on that ledge, it's up to you. Go across here, boneless for optimization. And then this, I'll explain this quickly. So what you can do is you can just do this, right? You go over spine transfer, do a McTwist, and then you got enough points. Because you need to get like 3,000 points in the boat, right? But that's a bit slower than doing this. Oh, I can't do it right now, because I'm a dumbass. I keep pressing special by accident. There we go. So what I basically did there is you just air out of the ramp by pushing forward and then jump and do a lot of tricks. And you'll hopefully land back into the ramp. Or if you land on this, it's not a big deal because you just reset here. But yeah, the idea is to just air out and then, you know, do a lot of tricks so you land back into the ramp and then you can come back over, rather than having to go up and do the McTwists and all that kind of stuff. So if you land like that, it's not a big deal, you just reset here. So next thing you want to do is switch to Bob. When you switch characters, your on-board stance matters. So like if I switch while I'm off my board now, which is ideal, Bob will be off his board when you switch to him, as you'll see. This is quite important because if you go like this and then switch to Bob, as soon as you start mashing through, he'll start like flying over here, and you don't want that. So ideally, right now in a speedrun, the RV ramp will be like here, right? Could be anywhere on this street, but it'll be around here somewhere. For me, it's here because I was explaining. So you want to go into the RV ramp, and you want to do a caveman into a double trick. It's like a double kick flip, or you know, something like this. If you do this, for example, it won't count. Because you have to be like fully off your board for the caveman to count, so just keep that in mind. So just jump and then just do like a 360 flip or something like that. And then finally grind the cannon. As soon as you hit the cannon, that's it for Boston. So, and then go to start, change level, and just go to the next level. You get a text from Tony saying like, oh yeah, let's go to the next level, but that's slow to wait for it, so just switch immediately. And you're on to Barcelona.
I suggest starting off with
So skip through Tony's stuff again. This is where the Mike V thing comes in. So if you see here, I get to select my pro. If you just go up, as you can see, Mike V has a higher speed stat than Rodney. Rodney actually has the lowest one. So if you just press up A instead of A, you can select Mike here. If you select Rodney, it's not a big deal. Like, it really doesn't matter. But this is like, I don't know, couple of seconds faster maybe. So switch to Mike immediately, and then There's a couple of like micromanaging things you need to do in this level. It doesn't technically matter when you do them. There's just more efficient spots to do them than others, right? So the first one is trash cans. So all you need to do is just grind on them. So you need to get 4. So I'll show you where to get them optimally. The next thing is you need to get some tomatoes, or tomatoes if you're from the UK like me, and you need to hit pedestrians with them. So you use flip button to hit a pedestrian with them. So go down here. Ideally there'll be a pedestrian here on an actual run, but instead they're over here or something, so I'll just hit them. So you need to hit 5 of them. This is the next bin, and then if you throw a tomato here, you activate the bullfighter, switch to him.
Now the girls will love me.
Also, something to mention here is don't switch to the bullfighter too quickly, because if you select him too fast, you'll essentially like soft lock yourself. So when you switch back to Mike V and you try and throw a tomato, it just won't do anything, and that's basically run over. So yeah, just be careful about that. The next thing I want to mention is there's also Bulldong on the map. You need to do a grab off this for 50 points, but the bull where it comes, like once you let it loose from here, is fixed, but the dung isn't. So just keep an eye on, just try and fit it in, basically. So another thing you have to do, I know it's quite complicated, right? But so the fourth thing you have to do, kind of fit in where you can, is to do focus combos, right? So the way you do a focus combo is you just have to do a combo, but all of it has to be in focus, so the start to the end. I don't remember exactly how many points you need. It's not very many. So yeah, 1,000 points, so it's basically nothing, right? But you need special in order to do it. So the most efficient way to get special is either a boneless 180 judo or a boneless 180 1-foot Japan. Both work, but judo... I do Japan, but a lot of people do judo because it gives you more points, right? So if you do a boneless into 1-foot Japan, you see I have special now. It works with boneless. It works with judos as well, sorry. But Mike V has a body wrap, but you get the point. So I do a 1-foot Japan, because I'm pretty sure every skate you use in this run has the 1-foot Japan, instead of a, judo or a body wrap or any of that stuff. So in here is Steve-O. Awful character again. You don't want to switch to him or hit the ball. You just want to find him, and that gives you enough points. So from here is where you want to start ideally doing the focus combo. So I'll get my special back up. The easiest way to do a focus combo for the goal is to just do this. So just a clean 180 kickflip or heel flip, and it counts because you've got over 1,000 points. The next bin's here, and since it's quite a convenient dunk spawn, I'll use this. So you just ramp off it and do a grab. You can, if you don't want to like ramp off it like that, you can just stand on it and do something like that and just jump off, and that works just fine. So you want to hit more peds with tomatoes. There's one here usually. They've like walked back on themselves. And then if you don't have, usually you'll have 5 by now, but if you don't, just put that down instead. And then the last bin is here as well, or the trash can or whatever you want to call it. So usually in a run, this is where the dung's going to be around here, like either on this strip or on this road here. So just again, keep an eye out for it. I think what I'll do is I'll show you like an optimal Barcelona, because there's so much to kind of keep track of that it's kind of difficult to tell you exactly where to do what. So the next thing you want to do is, if you've got 2 focus combos like I do one here just before I get to the trash can, and then one here just as I like come towards this trash can. So you'll have 2 out of 3. And then what you want to do is you want to grind the Saints benches, or whatever these things are called. You can just hold Y for those. You don't have to tap it any quickly or whatever. And then I do one last focus combo here on the way to the machine. If you do mess up on any of the focus combos, you can just do it after the arcade machine. It's not a big deal. As I say, just try and fit them in. So arcade machine, and then start the rail rated challenge. So this is nice and easy. Just there you go, done. The only kind of difficult thing is you just have to do it all in one combo. You just grind all the rails, and then you have to sticker slap onto this rail, and then you're basically done. Ideally, obviously, you want to get like enough points to complete the arcade machine, like by doing the railway challenge, so you don't have to do any extra tricks. So once you do, you can just... I personally end the arcade machine here, but the world record does it differently, so I'll show you the way they do it, because it's probably faster. So you want to set your board on fire, and then go here and air out. You'll set the Phoenix on fire, and then you also want to hold a grab as I'm doing, and spin 720 and land it. And then end your combo. So as soon as you start going in, as you see, there's the text there to move on, that you don't want to wait for. So I'll go over that again. So you set your board on fire, you go here, don't get memed by that guy. That guy's a real dick. So you go here, and then you want to go into a grab. If you're not going fast enough, that happens. You don't get nearly enough height. But you want to start a grab as soon as you air, and then you can land it like that. You only have to land a 720, a 900 isn't a big deal. So as soon as you do the arcade machine, then you're good to go to Berlin. So I think what I'll do here before I go to Berlin is show you like an optimal Barcelona, because it's difficult to gauge and tell you where everything is when obviously the peds move and the bull dung is different all the time. So yeah, so watch that, and then I'll join you with Berlin again.
¿Qué pasa? Here's the... I suggest starting off with the Hiroshima snot rocket, but here are some other things you might try.
Right on, kid. Let's get going.
Hola, here's some tomatoes.
Now the girls will love me.
Nice choice.
No way, you found me. Check out my mechanical bull. It's time to get totally rad on this thing. Yeah! Haha!
All right, Berlin. Now that we ditched that deadweight sparrow, we're gonna kick some ass.
Alright, welcome back to Berlin. So, hopefully you just saw there what a decent Barcelona looked like. It wasn't great. The bull dung spawn was kind of off. I did an extra focus combo, because I'm a dumbass. And yeah, a few extra things. But that was like no major mistakes. Like, that was maybe like a couple of seconds wasted at most. But that's not a big deal when you're first starting out, so don't worry about that. So next is Berlin. The first thing we want to do is get special on the way to Bam, and then switch to him.
Hell yeah, time to shred it up.
The reason we need special is so we can use it to do a grind and buff over these two officers that we're going to see. So grind and buff is left, right, grind. So there you go. And then you want to go up here, and grind these three letters. And then you want to do a focus combo with this combo that you've got. So just jump and then land clean.
Octoliba!
You don't, for the focus combos in this level, you don't have to do them all in focus, right? All you got to do is then do the combo and then hold it, and then just, as long as you land it clean and in focus, you're good to go. So next thing is grind down here, and then grind and buff. Don't do a lip trick. Make sure you got an angle. Grind and buff. Get off your board. Nata spins. And then if you run out of your combo here, it's fine. Ideally, you want to get it down here. But, you know, sometimes you'll lose your combo. It's not a big deal. So Nata spin is the right rotation button, which for me is right bumper. And then your grind button at the same time. So that's how you Nata spin. It might be different for you because, you know, controls and stuff. But if you do still have the combo, then all you need to do is just get on here and just land it clean like that. If you don't have your combo, then just come down as normal and it's fine. I'll show you how to fit them in later. So next thing, arcade machine. bean plant over here. Ideally, you want to get some decent amount of points here to get special before you get to the tagger. And then if you didn't get the focus combo, you can try and get them now. Ideally, in like a world record tier speedrun, right? There'll be a van here if you're fast enough that you can skitch all the way towards Paulie. But that's assuming that you've got the focus combo sorted and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't, you can do it there, or you can do it on this rail. As long as you just do it at some point, it's fine. So I'll just do an extra one since I missed both, because I'm a dumbass. So there we go. As long as you get them done, it's fine. So then you want to go in here, and then as you're in midair here, just press pause. End your timer for your, what's it called? Arcade machine, that's the one. Skip, and then switch to Paulie. Paulie is a real dick, right? It's kind of the same as Jesse James. The issue with him is that I just realized there's no game music, but yeah. So while I change this, give me a second. So the reason Paulie is kind of a dick is that, sorry, I just sneezed there. Alright, so yeah. The reason Paulie is kind of a dick is because you can't, like, get out of your wheelchair, obviously, like you would get off your board. So if you kind of, if you're in a situation where you're gonna bail, then you just kind of have to, like, you know, just bite the bullet, I guess. But, so Paulie will require a bit of practice. So, the first thing you want to do as Paulie is just grind this little bit of this ledge here, and it'll start the line that you need to do. So you go across here, go up here, and then ideally you want to keep a combo, and then land it. So that's the line and the combo, right? So, if I go back, if I can just get up here, there we go.
Excuse me, I broke my rod. Can you help me?
Ideally, once you go up here, you want to get like all the way across to here and grind that, and then grind here, right? But if not, you can just do the kind of backup that I did and just manual back up and keep the combo. It's fine. As long as you get like a decent combo, it'll count. And just don't bail. So the last thing you need to do in Berlin is go here, and you need to jump, do a seat flip, which is like which is basically kick flip, but with Paulie. So direction and flip. And then you need to acid drop into the ramp, okay? This goal is kind of, I'll see if I can recreate it. If you jump too late, yeah, there you go. It doesn't count. So I thought that was like kind of bullshit to begin with. Like, I didn't know what I was doing wrong. But then Guy Wiz, who's the world record holder, told me that if you jump too late, that's what happens. So make sure you jump nice and early. Seat flip, acid drop, you're good to go. Change level. This level, for beginners, because of the route, and some of the tricks, is most likely going to be like the big run killer. It was for me, at least. So as you can see, I forgot to switch to mic V. If you're gonna forget, it's not a big deal, but like out of all the ones to forget, this one is a pretty big one, because you're gonna need a lot of speed later, and you'll see why. So you want to grind this and ideally get special before you go to Robbie.
About time I get to skate some tech
or
stuff.
Mike, or whoever. The reason you want special, I'll probably explain this now, because this is where it matters, okay? So when your special meter is filled, you travel faster, right? It might seem like placebo, but it's just a thing. So your speed is increased by, I don't know, a fixed amount. I don't think it's like a variable of any kind. So this manual that you're about to do is a lot easier when you have special. So that's why you get special. So you want to grind across here, and then go into a manual and head over this ramp, okay? As you can see, with special, it's a lot easier to do. And then go up here. And this one's kind of a fucker to line up. It's Kenneth's Feelings. What you need to do is you need to jump over like I did, and then natter spin on the kind of fingers. So if you miss it like that, then it's not a big deal. All you can do is just climb up him. Like, you can just like jump up like this and then do that. And natter spin. But ideally, you would just do it here, and you would just beam plant and natter spin like that. And then you want to natter spin this fire hydrant. I like to kind of mess around here and flip between handstands. All you do there is just mash grind and grab to wake up Sleeping Beauty. Then you want to head over this ramp, get special, and then go into focus. The reason you want to go into focus is because you have to do that, which is a clean double kickflip. So that was quite fast, so I'll kind of break it down. So the clean double kickflip, it has to be a clean 180 double kickflip over the cars, right? You have to clear both the cars, and you see you get a gap when you do. I've had it before where I've like visibly done it, but the gap hasn't counted, and the goal won't count, so it's really annoying. So go into special nice and early, because it allows you to kind of, you know, like line yourself up easier, and then just try and land it clean. The clean is the hard part, but with a bit of practice, it's not too bad. So that's like as close to clean as you can get without actually landing it clean, and that will happen a fair amount. So there you go, that's the clean one. Now this trick, this is the, I'd say probably the one of the hardest tricks in the run, if not the hardest trick. So make sure you have special, okay, for this. I might cut here to show you what it looks like optimally, because I'm probably going to mess this up, right? Because I haven't played this game properly in a while. So let me just make sure my special's good to go. So I'll kind of lay it out for you first. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop over this rail in front of us. Then we're going to grind the awning. We're going to head up the ramp, grind up the awning. Then we're going to jump off the awning onto like the wooden bits. Then we're going to jump off the wood and then line ourselves up for a massive transfer, right? This transfer is super difficult, but the reason we do it is because it's 75 points, right? 75 points is a lot for a goal. Oh, nice. Lost all my special. Good shit. Just had to sneeze again there, my apologies. And also my game sound keeps breaking. So this is a good meme. Thug 2 PC port is really crap, if you didn't know. And sometimes the sound will just break. So you see now it just stops playing. So whatever, I don't care about the game sound enough. So I'm going to try and do this. And you'll see what it looks like if you mess it up, and then hopefully I'll show you what it looks like if you do it correctly. So there you go. That's what a failed attempt looks like. Okay. So the reason it's difficult is because when you jump off, you only have like half a second to line yourself up. And then you just got to launch yourself. So you see my angle there was way off. So it's pretty difficult to do. This is one of the big reasons why some people use New Game Plus. Because with New Game Plus, you get a manual that gives you a shitload of speed, and you can just do this like so easily. Like it's more difficult to overshoot than undershoot. The reason this jump is also difficult is because of this piece of shit wall. I don't know what the benefit of having this is. You see, it's down there as well, right? This wall blocks you so hard. Like, this would be so easy if this wall didn't exist. Because you can go off at the most ridiculous angle and just smack off into the wall. It's so annoying. There we go. So, once you've nailed that, which might take a few tries, even in my runs where I've practiced it, you know, for a good portion of time, I still can't consistently get that first try. It needs a lot of practice, so I would advise practicing that. What I wouldn't advise doing is changing your route to avoid this goal. It's better to just practice it. Like, it's not that hard. It's just pretty daunting when you first start. Anyway, so once you've done that and got that ordeal out of the way, you're pretty much home sailing for Australia. The next thing you need to do is the boardwalk grind combo. So the boardwalk grind combo is 25,000 points across these rails. So you hit the first one, you go here, go across this bench, and then land on this one. As soon as you've done that, you can just get off. You're all good to go. You've also found the shrimp vendor just by going through here, and then you go to the arcade machine. Arcade machine, you just need to get points. 35k, more than enough. Right. So this is the first like kind of major speed tech in this run. It's like, I think it's the biggest skip in this run. So up until now, it's just been doing goals optimally, but this is an actual skip, okay? So on the next 3 levels that we're about to do, so Australia, New Orleans, and Skatopia, right? When you get enough points, when you get the 400 points, you can't just change level, okay? When you get the text to like, let's go or whatever that Tony says to you, when you accept it, it warps you to, well, you're at the same level, but you've got to do 2 extra goals, right? Before you can move on. And it's like an entirely different section. But you can skip that entirely. And the way it works is, what you're going to do is you're going to go next to Tony, which is where I am. And there's two ways to end the level. The way you... Or to go into like the next section of tricks, okay? The first one is to speak to Tony directly, which is what we're going to do. And then the second one is to get the text message. Now, I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this. What you're going to do is you're going to end the current run, and as soon as you end it, talk to Tony immediately. Tony will, go, okay, let's go, put you into the next set of tricks, and then the text message comes through telling you, let's go. You accept the text message, and you go to the next section. So I'll show you how it's done. So, end your current run. This is a lot easier because with the end current score thing with the arcade machine, you can do it like from anywhere. But the next two are going to be slightly more difficult. But either way. So all that you need to do here, end it, and then immediately talk to Tony and say to move on. Okay? Skip through the cutscenes.
Sweet. With those clothes and
And then, as you see, I get the text message, accept
Another
it, and you
town
just go
into the
straight to
party.
New Orleans.
And we're talking major moron
So,
convention.
this
You want to get noticed
part
here,
is a
try
bit of
these
RNG,
insane
okay?
stunts.
What you want to do is you want to skip, but then skip to here. And as you can see, the Jester is there, right? That's good RNG. If the Jester isn't there, then you have to take a different route. So if you get the Jester, you just go here, and he's right here ready for you.
Get me off that float. Here, let me buy you a drink.
Again, I forgot about Mike V. Again, I wouldn't even say worry about it at this point. Really doesn't matter. So I'll show you a clip now of what you have to do if you get bad RNG.
Another town, we're talking major moron convention. If you want to get noticed here, try these insane stunts.
Thanks for getting me off that float.
Alright, so after you and Lucky Few get bad RNG, you'll be back here. So you want to switch to the Jester. And then the first thing you want to do is you want to do a drop a hurricane, which is basically just doing a standard acid drop. Acid drop is the same button that you do to spine transfer. So, which is, for me, it's right bumper and right trigger. It might be left bumper, right bumper for you. It depends. Depends on your controller configuration, of course. But, yeah, so that's something you'll need to figure out on your own, I'm afraid. Because it's difficult to say. Like, I could say, oh, it's my right rotation plus my revert button. But it's different for each person. You might have revert bound to something else. So, either way, so jump in, acid drop in, 50 points, good. Immediately turn around and go across here and get on this rail. I missed it because I'm a dumbass. Ideally, what you can do is grind here and it'll line you up for the rail perfectly. And you want to go across to the crypts, and there's a little, again, like world record tier skip that you can do here. I've never actually personally got it because I'm bad. So what I'll do is I'll just show you a video or a clip of it being done. And, well, I'll show you after this. So, basically how you do it is you get the 4 out of 5 crypts, and then before that text goes away that you just saw, you activate the 5th crypt. So you got to be pretty fast. If not, the goal will complete like this, and you have to wait. It's like 3 seconds or so. If you get it fast enough, as you'll see in this clip coming up, it'll just skip it instantly. So that's the fast skip. Ideally, again, go for it. If you don't get it, not a big deal. So next thing, go to Rodney here, or Mike, or Chad Musker, or whoever the fuck you chose. Doesn't matter. And then you want to spine transfer in, hold Y to grind this, jump off, and then immediately get off your board. Depending on where you've like launched yourself off, you can be basically any of these 4 directions, but you want to be this direction, ideally, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to do the balcony buster goal. This one's kind of a fucker, and it's kind of hard to explain. What you're going to need to do is go off this ramp in front of me, and then wall ride, and then volley, which is jumping off a wall ride, and you need to break 3 balconies in one combo. So I'll hopefully show you what it looks like ideally. There you go. If you don't get it and you get 2 instead, keep your combo going and just break another one above you. There's lots to go around. But ideally, that's how you would do it. So then just do an indie nose bone over here, which is down right and B. Skip this cutscene. 100 points, nice and easy. Next thing you want to do is manhole manual. You need to hit 5. What you can do here is you can get off your board and then get back on and all that kind of stuff if you lose momentum, and it still counts. So as long as you keep it in a manual combo, then you're good to go. Then the next 2 ones you're going to kind of do at the same time. So you need to activate 3 gas lamps, which are these like top of the light poles here. You need to grind them. And also, you want to do a big and focus combo, which is 50,000 points. And the same with Berlin, you only have to end it in a combo, okay? So, you can do all of it here if you want, or do it near Tony, because we're going to set up for another text wall, okay? So, the way you do the gas lamps optimally is you do this, and then I'll miss the last one. But ideally, you want to keep it all in one combo. If not, it's fine, just get off your board here or something. Start manualing over, do some tricks, you know, blah blah blah. Spacewalk if you want, to get you a few more points. And then as you go over, jump, land in focus, immediately speak to Tony. And then this will set you up for another warp. This skips the equalizer combo. And here we are in Skatopia.
This is our last shot to clinch this thing. So
When you little dirtbags have scored
So,
all your
Skatopia
cash, find me. We'll total things up.
has the hardest text warp in my opinion. There is a route that's like 30 seconds slower that I used to do. I'm not sure if I'll show you it. If you want to check, you can just go to my any PB but my current PB. So my current PB on speedrun.com is 9:59, right? If you go to any one before that, like if you go to show obsolete runs on speedrun.com, or go to my YouTube channel, which you're probably on now watching the video, any other one uses the old one with the arcade machine, which is a lot easier. But we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. So for now,
let me show you something.
switch to Tony. Doesn't matter what pro you pick, because you don't have a choice. Well, you can't pick any pro at all, because you have to use Tony. So go here, then go up and grab the chainsaw, which warps you here. If you were doing the slow route, you would go and grab Ryan Sheckler right now, who's up there. But I'm not going to do that, because I'm going to show you the fastest one. So grind here, immediately restart the goal, right? So this whole retry last goal thing is heavily abused in Skatopia. We're going to do a load of goals up here, and then as soon as we finish the goal, we're going to retry the last goal, because we keep failing this grinding transfer goal that we never actually do in the run. But it just allows us to basically walk back up the mountain constantly. So, for example, do Spine the Mine, which is just spine transfer over here. As soon as we land, retry the last goal, and it puts us back up here. The next one's Weather Balloon. This one's kind of difficult if you haven't practiced very much. So what you do there is you spine transfer over to the mini kicker, then ideally boneless off because it gives you enough height, and then you want to get off your board and then grab it. So grab it for me is right trigger. Again, it might be different for you, just whatever your grab and hold on button is, and you just grab it. Next thing is go back to the tree where we got the train saw. Not a spin, then acid drop. As soon as you start the acid drop, you can cancel it and go down here. Tag the big billboard, find Bigfoot, switch to him. And then you can... The next thing you want to do is another 100-point combo that's like stupidly easy. You can either grind this and do it like this, or... Yeah, I kind of messed it up. Or you can just go to here and do it here. It doesn't really matter. As long as you manual up the slope, it's fine. This goal is the reason why I did the other setup for so long. Because this goal, in my opinion, is bullshit, right? So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to manual down this slope and then air off the ramp, okay? Sometimes you'll do it and it just won't count. I don't exactly know like why it happens. So go off, manual down, and air off like that. See, it counted this time, but sometimes it just won't, and it's really infuriating. So once you've done that, go here, ollie, switch to your create a skater again, and this is where the vid warp excuse me, it's fucking GTA 4, text warp. So this one's difficult, okay? What you're gonna do is there's a goal called Skatopia transfer, and the way you do it is you go over here and land into this. You do a vert transfer to here, okay? But what you can also do is launch off here like you would, get off your board and land around here, and it counts. And then you need to go to BAM and end, okay? It's pretty difficult. It's a very tight window. So I'll try and show it off. If not, I'll show you a clip of it being done correctly. So go off, And as you can see, the reason it's difficult is because when you go off and launch forward, as soon as you get off your board, your momentum just stops. So you've got to time it pretty well. Also, being special, if that wasn't obvious, because it makes you go faster. So you've got to get it, you know, you've got to get the lineup pretty solid. So that was pretty much ideal, but it didn't count. Again, as I said, it's pretty tight.
To celebrate our complete domination, I'm gonna blow this hellhole sky high.
This allows you to warp
Gotta
straight
get out of
here.
here! But let's take the critters
So
with us!
this one's kind of a fucker as well, this skip. So what you want to do is you want to go here, immediately jump around, boneless over, and then ideally land here. If you don't get it, it's fine, you just restart and just try it again. But this will require some practice. The reason for that is because with this skip, you only get 3 dogs, and as you can see, like, you barely make it in time. So this one will make it. You can kind of tell, but yeah, this one will make it just fine. But as you can see, like, it was like less than a second away from making it.
This place is getting
So
torched.
this last part
What's
is
that
really
monkey
easy.
still doing way up there?
It's just a
Hey,
simple
look,
combo to the end.
take
So
this
just
in.
grind here,
You're
manual,
up, but if you can
grind,
find Skatopia in one
manual,
combo, you get 1,000
grind,
points.
jump into
You know?
it, and you'll... That's it. Time. And that's it. Thug 2 story. Completed in 54 minutes according to my OBS timer. Pretty speedy, you know? But yeah, so thanks for watching. If I have any clips that I forgot to add, I'll probably throw them in at the end. So if there aren't any clips at the end, then good stuff. It means I didn't forget anything. If there is, then make sure to watch them because they're probably important, otherwise they won't be there. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and see you next time.